Good morning, everyone. Oh, it's afternoon already. I know time is moving up so fast. So, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for taking your time to be here today. It's a real pleasure joining you. I'm joining you from Kenya. My name is Beryl Atieno. It's a real pleasure to be here today. Um, I know most of us were here even before time, which is really good. It's very good to be respectful of time. All right. So I think the first people who are here were Emilia, Chidima, Martha, Kelechi, Saidat, Susan Chi, and Ezin Chidera. So they were all here before time. They were all ready to start this session. And I hope everyone who's joining us right now is as ready as the ladies that I mentioned. Thank you so much for being here. Just to remind you, this is our last session of the digital skills training series. This is our last session with you guys, and I hope you all had a good time. You all enjoyed yourselves. You've had a range of trainers. You've had Sandra training you. You've had Udeme. I have also trained you. You've had Lauren training you. You've interacted with Amarachi. That's Nora Kalu in the chat section. You've interacted with Judith as well. And I'm so glad they've all done a good job. I think the first thing, maybe we can drop them some, the clapping emojis. So you can drop our trainers and our moderators the clapping emoji just to appreciate them for the good work that they have done so far. So the clap is also for you, really, for attending and participating on these sessions rather. Yeah, so I have Emanuela Obazele who's dropped the first clap, and David, Haua, Afolabi. Thank you all so much. This is a kudos to the trainers, to Fidelity Bank, to all of you as well for being in this session. You've all been very engaging. Hi Rita, good to have you again. Good to have you. Good to have you here again too. Thank you to the trainers. So all the trainers and moderators, please feel appreciated. I can see Mfon Ayo is saying hi to Udeme already. Udeme, you can respond to that. So thank you so much, Fidelity Bank. Thank you so much, Impact Her trainers, moderators. Thank you so much to the participants. It has been a good session. All right. So even before we start the session, you can also just give us a review. Tell us, how has your experience been so far? How has your experience been so far? You know, we've had 7 sessions. We've looked at how you can build your brand and sell online. We have looked at how to create a digital marketing plan, getting set up on the Google My Business platform. We have looked at how to get set up on the Google Workspace. So maybe just tell us, how has your experience been? We can't know unless you tell us. How has your experience been? And while at it, because I'm having really great responses, while you're sharing your experience, these are really impressive responses. You can take a screenshot of the session of the screen, take a screenshot of your screen and go to Twitter and post the screenshot, tag Fidelity Bank with the hashtags, hashtag digital skills for Africa, hashtag Fidelity Bank, hashtag impact her. All right. So these are really good. This is great feedback, and it's good to appreciate Fidelity Bank for going out all the way to ensuring that we are all getting the knowledge we deserve to grow our businesses. All right. So while we are dropping our experience, if you enjoyed the session, if it's insightful, impactful, you can go to Twitter with the screenshot, tag Fidelity Bank with the hashtag digital skills for Africa, hashtag Fidelity Bank, hashtag impact her. That will be really good. Let's get the conversations going. Let's get everyone knowing about Fidelity Bank, knowing about the digital skills for Africa training, knowing about impact her. You can also tag us on Twitter, impact her. We are available on Twitter. That's our Twitter handle, impact her. So that's really good. I am actually reading your responses. I am actually reading your responses, and I am impressed, you know, that the time you took to be in these sessions has proved to be insightful. It was not a waste of time from your end and from our end and from Fidelity Bank's end as well. All right. Rita, I have done this class. Have you really? Probably in previous trainings, I assume. Chinenye, the facilitators and moderators have been effective and efficient. Thank you so much for that. No, Rita, so we've not had this session before. We have not had this session before in this series. Yeah. I'll definitely post my screenshot on Twitter immediately after the class. Thank you, Emanuela. That would be really, really nice. Thank you so much for that. The trainers and the moderators who are here, I hope you're all reading the good comments you're getting in the chat section, Fidelity Bank. I hope you're seeing the overwhelming response from your members about this training. So thank you so much to both parties, Impactor, Fidelity Bank, and thank you to all of you for taking time to join these sessions and all the questions that you are dropping. I hope you all got responses to that. The different links that were shared, I hope we all copied those links. If you don't have a GMB, how do you get started with creating a profile? I hope you created those links. You looked at, if you're looking at getting keywords to add to your site, you looked at the trends feature, you looked at your Google Keywords Planner. All these were shared in this session. I hope you took advantage of that. All right. And I also hope you signed up for the Google Hustle Academy. We keep repeating that before the session, after the session. So make sure that if you have not signed up for the bootcamp, thank you, Nora, for that. Nora has already posted the link to getting started with the Google Hustle Academy bootcamp. So if you don't know what you're going to gain from the Hustle Academy bootcamp, the first thing you get to learn is how to generate revenue for your business. What are the different strategies that you can put in place to generate revenue? The next thing you get to learn is about your digital marketing. And it's very practical, especially the session on digital marketing is very practical. How do you get started with Google ads? How do you get started with Facebook ads? What are the benefits of this? What are the different tools that you can leverage on, to grow your business online? So all of these things you learn in the Google Hustle Academy. How do you pitch your business? How do you what are the different funding options available for you? So all of this is, you get to learn so much about this in the Google Hustle Academy. You are assigned a mentor. Wait, how many Twitter accounts does Fidelity Bank have? Because I'm seeing so many. So maybe we can have someone drop the correct handle for Fidelity Bank's Twitter so that you can tag them when you're doing the screenshots and the posts. Can I have maybe one of my moderators or one person from Fidelity Bank? If they're here with us today, they can drop us the correct Twitter handle for Fidelity Bank so that everyone, all the participants can tag the right handle. Yes, I will really appreciate that. So thank you so, so much. I think we're already 10 minutes into the session. I've had so many people join us already. I think it's time for me to kickstart this session. So if you're ready to start this session, let me know. All right. So let me know how many of us are ready to start this session. I'm actually waiting for your cue so that I can continue. How many of us are ready? Sadly, I'm not on Twitter. It's okay. You can also, if you're on Instagram, if you're on Facebook, you can do that. Thank you, Emanuela. Emanuela has posted the correct, Emanuela has done that at Fidelity Bank PLC at Fidelity Bank PLC. Wow, we are ready. I've seen the emoji with the glasses, just like I have my glasses on. And then the lady dancing. That's good. All right. Okay, so I'll start this session. Normally we have to look at, or rather as usual, we have to look at the different agendas that we have and the different agendas that we are supposed to cover by end of this session. So by the end of the session, you've seen the topic, staying productive online. All right. So when we say stay productive online, it means you're working online. How do you set up your remote office? You're not working in the traditional office environment. Do you understand? So, how do you set up a remote office that will still ensure that you're productive? Which takes you to the next step, building a productive work environment. All right. So you set up your remote office, make sure it's very conducive for you to be productive, and then managing and maintaining your workspace. So we looked at the Google Hustle Academy, and I've given you the options and on what you stand to benefit. Do you understand? By signing up for the Google Hustle Academy. And then we've looked at the three agendas that you're supposed to cover. So that is setting up a remote office, getting set up on the remote office, building a productive environment, and maintaining your well-being. So I hope you've signed up for the Hustle Academy. The link was dropped in the chat section. Sign up, sign up, sign up. All right. So the first question I'm going to ask, how has COVID-19 impacted your role? How has COVID-19 impacted your role? How has COVID-19 impacted your role? I can't see all my reviews on GMB. Why is that? I think you should be able to see the reviews on GMB. Do you have the Google Maps app? Because right now, if you go to Play Store, you can download the Google Maps app. It helps you to manage your GMB. Or you can go online. If you have already been verified, you can go to the search engine and type out your business name, access your GMB, and manage it from there. So you can manage your GMB from either Google search or you can manage your GMB from the Google Maps app. All right. How has COVID-19, this is a great response. It made me realize the essence of tech, made me more actively mentally. COVID launched me into business. It made me see the importance of being or selling online. I have learned to be more productive online, importance of online marketing, given me an edge to maximizing. What have I given me an edge to maximizing? I think the comments are coming in so fast, I'm actually even losing track of them. So, but this one, Favor says, COVID 19 helped me get started with digital marketing. All right. I'm trying to be fast to keep up with the comments. It made us more remote and discover more strategic ways of doing things entirely in the corporate world. So you can see that as much as it was a bad pandemic, we lost lives and some businesses, I mean, it led to the end of some businesses. It also led to us being flexible in terms of how can you stay afloat even with this pandemic? It's already hit us. You don't want to close your business. So what better thing can you do? What have you learned? So it's basically made you and your business very dynamic and versatile. Okay. So if you were a restaurant and previously you didn't have delivery services or takeout services, so that is one of the things. You could even decide to have a drive-in service. We have those drive-in restaurants. So those are some of the things, just examples of how business tried to adapt with the COVID-19 pandemic. So moving on, we're going to look at setting up your remote office. Remember, this is the first agenda. But before I start, I just want to remind us. I want to remind all of us. I have 2 recharge cards to give when you're starting up the session, and I actually have 4 recharge cards, 2 at the beginning and 2 at the end. And I will be giving you questions, and the person who responds correctly or the first I will say when I'm stating out my question, will win the recharge card. Because I've noted in the previous trainings, we have people, you're responding to be the first, but technically your response is not correct. So if I ask a question about a topic that we've already discussed, I'm testing your understanding of the topic. So I will only reward the person who gives me the correct answer. All right. I hope we are all clear on that. So whether you're the first, if you're the first and it's a wrong answer, I am sorry, you're not getting the reward. I'm giving rewards to the correct responses because it's testing your understanding. At the end of the day, that's what I want us to have achieved. I want us to have left here with the knowledge that we have gained. All right. So that's what's going to happen. All right. Setting up your remote office. So, what is remote working? What is remote working? All right. If I say remote working, most people just think, it's working from home, but it doesn't necessarily have to be working from home. You could be working in a cafe. You could be working in a library. It's technically a working style that allows professionals to work outside the traditional office environment. You're not just limited to your home, all right? But you're working outside the traditional, what is construed as the normal working environment, quote unquote, office, all right? So that is what remote working is. And where can people work remotely? You can work from home. Like personally, I'm working from home. So you can work from home. Sometimes when I don't have lights and I don't have, my generator is not working, I can decide, you know what? I can't just stay here if I'm not working. I'll go to either a coffee shop, all right? Just a decent coffee shop where I will not have distractions. They can work from a coffee shop. There are co-working spaces outside there. Like in Kenya, there's a place that offers, you rent out a working space for either, and then they charge you per hour or per day, depending on how long you want to stay. If you want to stay per hour or 2 hours, you pay for those hours. If you want to stay per day, you pay for those days. So those are examples. That's just an example of a co-working space. I can decide to work from a library. Libraries, they're free. You don't pay. You just get access to a library and you tell them, you know what, I want to work. Do you have a designated area where I can work? So these are different places where you're able to work remotely. You have access to a power source. You have access to the internet. It's a conducive environment for you to, if you decide to have meetings, you can have meetings without distractions. Do you understand? So these are just examples of the places where you can work remotely. You're not just confined in your home. Now, what do you need to work remotely? What do you think you would need to work remotely? What do you need to work remotely? I don't know what actually happened, but after the first day session, I stopped getting notifications. I have really missed a whole lot. Ngozi, maybe to just try and see what we can do about that. I'm not sure why you are not able to receive the emails with the training links. Maybe you can click on the notification bell on our YouTube channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel, click on the notification bell. You should be able to be getting updates on future sessions. Okay. So that's also to all of us here. Let's go to YouTube. I know you're in YouTube right now. Click the subscribe button. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. So anytime, because Impactor runs series of trainings every day, all right? So anytime we have a session coming up, you get a notification like 30 minutes before and you can join the session, okay? These are great responses. Okay, so I hope we've subscribed. I hope we've done it. It just takes like a minute. Subscribe, click on the notification bell. Let's make sure we are able to get notifications about future sessions. Meanwhile, in Ngozi, you can go to our YouTube channel. There are different topics. You can look at the sessions that you missed and play the recordings. All the recordings of the sessions are on our channel. Even after this session ends, if you have the same training link, you can just access the recording to this session afterwards. So yes, Chinenye Elendu, has already subscribed. Thank you so much for that. Who else has subscribed to our YouTube channel? So click on the subscribe button, click on the bell button to get notifications of other sessions that we might be having. All right. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I have Roymat Volaji. I have, oh, wow. Aniema Love. Wow. Can the recordings be downloaded? Unfortunately, you cannot download the recordings, but you can view them anytime you want. I have subscribed. Divine, Emanuela. Wow. Mercy. I love this. Favor subscribed on the first day. Good job. Nicoro has subscribed. Favor, Eromose, Sandra, Aniema. Thank you all so, so much. Gertrude, I subscribed last week. Mary has subscribed. Abuno has subscribed. Tolu Lopez. So thank you all so much. Thank you so much. Impactor appreciates. Actually, I'm saying it on behalf of Impactor. So thank you so much for that. All right. So make sure you, if you're in this session, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click on the notification bell. All right. Click on the notification bell. Notification is on, Emanuela. Good job. Click on that to be able to get notifications about future sessions. So I saw the responses that we gave out when I asked this question, which was really good. So maybe what I'm going to talk about right now is more or less just a summary or an overview rather of what you have given me, of the responses that you have given me, right? So this is it. You would need a dedicated workspace, a space to separate work from home. So even if you're working from home in your house, you don't have to work while you're in bed. You know, that's not a workspace. You can't work when you're in bed. You can't work on the sofa with your feet on the table and the TV on. Like, really, you know, it has to be conducive that ensures that your productivity is not messed up. All right. So you need to have a dedicated workspace. Get a table, get a nice seat, you know, that way, a seat that maybe will not hurt your back as you're working. All right. Because you're also looking at being healthy. Do you understand? So get a nice seat that will not hurt your back to just prevent back pains. Get a nice table. Sorry, set up a corner in your house if it's a corner in the sitting room, or if your bedroom is big enough, you can set up a corner in your bedroom, but make sure that if you're having virtual meetings, your background is not your bed, you know, you understand? So you can have like a wall behind you, just something like that, something decent. So you can have a dedicated workspace. You need to have the right devices. If you're using Wi-Fi, you need to have your router ready with you. All right. So when you're looking at, yeah, you can have a router ready with you. You need to have a laptop. You can have an iPad. You can have your phone ready, and make sure you have, if you have a generator just for power backup, or an inverter, or a power bank. And all these things were talked about in the previous session. All right. And then internet. Make sure you have a stable internet connection. Make sure you have a stable internet connection. If you're using MTN and MTN sometimes has issues, you can always have Airtel as a backup. Do you understand? So if I'm having my meetings, let's say right now in Kenya, right now I'm in Kenya, so I'm using my Safaricom Wi-Fi. Assuming my the power goes off, that means my Wi-Fi will go out. I have a power backup ready. I have Airtel because we also have Airtel here in Kenya. I have my Airtel here with me. I can always hotspot. All right. So if my power goes off, and my internet goes off, it doesn't mean that this session will end. You know, I have an alternative source of internet that I can connect to ensure my session continues. And make sure you're choosing the right internet service provider, a stable internet service provider. Then creating your own workspace. When you're creating your own workspace. So I talked about finding a space inside your home where you will feel more productive. Personally, this workspace that I'm in right now is at the corner of my living room. All right. So I have designated a corner on my living room where I can be working. So every morning I wake up, I don't work from bed. I mean, on the bed, I don't work seated on the couch. I come straight to my workstation. I have my where to charge my phone, my laptop ready. I have my power source here with me. I have my router next to me. I have my notebook next to me. Everything is set. So one thing, avoid the bed or the couch. Set up a table in a nice chair. I talked about having a nice chair for you so that you don't hurt your back. Because if that's where you're sitting at, maybe from morning to evening, Monday to Friday, you need to be comfortable. So get a nice chair. Make sure the space is comfortable and consider your posture. Consider your posture. Now, the physical equipment that you might need, and I've talked about this, you need to have your phone ready, all right? But when you're taking meetings, you can decide to put your phone on do not disturb mode. So you can put your phone on do not disturb mode. There's that option on your phone. So if there are calls coming in, it won't ring. Do you understand? There are messages coming in, it won't ring. But after the session, if you turn off the do not disturb mode, you'll see who called you. It's better than it's better than shutting off your phone. So you can see missed calls, you can still see messages, right? And then you need to have your computer ready with you. You need to have a power source. You need to have your charging cable next to you, and then a notebook. I have my notebook here with me. Let me just show you so that you know I'm not talking about things I'm not practicing. I have my notebook and I have my pen. So if I have important points that I have to take for this meeting, I will always just note that down so that I do not forget. Do you understand? So getting a stable power source. I have mentioned this in the previous slide, I think. So getting a stable power source. To be productive, you have to get a stable power source to charge your devices. If you have a generator, get a backup generator. All right, get a generator so that if you're using right now, because I'm sorry, I'll be giving you examples in Kenya because that's where I'm at right now. I can't think of examples in Nigeria because I don't know so much about Nigeria. All right. So Kenya, we have the Kenya Power and Lighting Company that provide our electricity. If my power goes off, I know I have my inverters ready. I can just switch on my inverter and my laptop won't go off. I will still continue working. There are power banks that you can use even for your laptop. So you can get power banks for that. You can get a UPS, all right? So you can get a UPS if your machine goes off. You can still connect to the UPS to ensure that you buy yourself some time to continue working before your devices go off. Do you understand? So finding sufficient internet connections. I talked about choosing the correct internet service provider. I talked about choosing the correct internet service provider. So make sure you choose a stable internet service provider. Consider a substitute. Consider a substitute. So I said I have Safaricom. I'm using Safaricom, but I can use Airtel as an alternative service provider in case my Safaricom Wi-Fi goes off. Then I can find the right router. Finding the right router. Make sure you're choosing the right router. Plug into your Wi-Fi. Test and compare internet speeds. You can test and compare your internet speeds as well. All right. Give me 1 minute. So basically, that's what you need to do when you're looking at finding your internet connections. I mean, the sufficient internet connection. So what are the challenges of working remotely? What are some of the challenges of working remotely? What are some of the challenges of working remotely? What are the challenges of working remotely? Power supply, yes, that can be a very that's a huge challenge. And then there's internet connection, bad network, comfort, light, power failure, lack of internet, distractions. You're right. Wow, power and internet, power supply failure. Power. I see most people are commenting on the power. Distractions from house chores. House chores. Depends on where you went to school. Wow, bad network, power outages. Laureate Mayfan, where please, how can I get my certificate? So Sunshine, what normally happens is we share an attendance form after every session or towards the end of every session. You fill out the attendance form with the correct name. All right. So with the attendance form, our team will work on the certificates. Do you understand? So just be patient about it. So if you have not received any certificate, please be patient about it. Saidat Temilade, my network is bad here. So you see, that's also one challenge. You're not able to access the training efficiently or effectively, rather, because of your bad network. So that's also an issue. Unstable power is plenty, network issue and electricity, power failure, the challenges. I understand all these responses and you are all correct. All right. So before I move on to the next, before we move on to looking at the challenges of working remotely, someone tell me, this is my first question, and I'm only giving a reward to the person who's giving me the correct response. My first question, what is remote working? I gave a description of this. What is remote working? I will only give a reward to the person who gives me the correct response. I'll only give a reward to the person who gives me the correct response. What are the challenges of working remotely? Maureen, working outside the traditional working environment. Okay. So I'll leave it up to my moderators to tell me who the winner is. I'll leave it out to my moderators to tell me who the winner is. Who has won this? I asked, what is remote working? What is remote working? And I'm only giving out a reward to the person with the correct response. What is remote working? Maureen, working outside the traditional working environment, is you working from home? What we need are, Maureen has even given examples of what we need: a dedicated workspace, right devices, that is stable internet. Good job, Maureen. Good job. That is a very, very good response. Good job. I commend you for that. So, Maureen, an email will be dropped in the chat section, dsexecutive@impacther.org. Please make sure you send your details, being your full name, your phone number, and your service provider, so that you can get your 2,000 naira reward recharge card. So these are the challenges of working remotely. The first thing, there's loneliness, lack of interaction. When you're in the office, you get to interact with your colleagues, your team members. But when you're working remotely, it's just you and your machine. Do you understand? So there's that sense of loneliness that you get from working remotely. And then self-discipline. It needs a lot of self-discipline. If you are going to the office from 8 to 5, and you want to work, maybe you need to give 8 productive hours to your employer. You need to be disciplined. You know, there's no one here that to look at you if you've woken up, if you're on your desk, if you're working, if you're listening to YouTube, if you're watching movies. There's no one to police you. So you really need to be self-disciplined. And then there are no employee benefits. If you are getting transport allowance, too bad. There's no transport right now. If you're being bought for lunch when you go to the office, or you're given your 10 o'clock tea, there's nothing like that with cookies. You're just at home. There are no benefits that you're getting. And then it's hard to switch off. If I'm working right now, for example, I am working remotely. Impactor is based in Nigeria. It's hard to switch off because my team members, I can have Nora or Lauren or Udeme or Judith. They probably want to reach out to me about something, maybe a document that we are working on, something like that. I have to be accessible at all times. So there's no time to switch off. And then there's also the fear of missing out. I can have Udemy or my team members, the trainers, they decide to go out to the island, have fun, have a team bonding. I'm here all in Kenya alone. So there's that fear of missing out. You're always missing out. Just basic challenges, overview of the challenges that you get from working remotely. Now, what are the benefits of remote working? What are the benefits of remote working? We've looked at the challenges. So what are the benefits right now? What do you benefit from working remotely? What do you benefit from working remotely? Let me see your responses. Maureen, I hope you have sent your details. I can see the email has been dropped in the chat section. Wow. Challenges. We're looking now at the benefits. Working at your pace, space and working comfortably, flexibility, less stress, reduced cost. You work at your own time or space, you work from the comfort of your home, comfortability. I think most people are talking about time freedom, comfortability, flexibility, no long hours on traffic. That's also correct. Wow, you're the master of your own time. You control your own time. You're less susceptible to diseases, conducive for introverts. Yeah, it is. I know introverts really enjoy remote working. It gives you time for other things. Security risks are reduced. Wow. Even giving me responses to what I don't have on my slides, like the security risks, less susceptible to diseases. I don't have that on my slides, but you have that there. All right. So that just shows you that we are learning from each other. It shows you that I'm learning from you as much as you're learning from me. Okay. Wow. So we will move on at we'll look at the benefits. The first thing, and we've talked about this, is flexibility. If I know I have to give 8 productive hours, it doesn't mean I have to work from 8 to 5. I can decide to work from 9 to 6, 10 to 7, 11 to 8. Do you understand? So I'm flexible so long as I am productive and so long as I achieve what is expected of me, either go beyond that, go over and above, or achieve exactly what is expected of me. Do you understand? And then there's no commuting, so you don't have time to waste in traffic. So there's no commuting. Then you get time with family. If assuming you're living in this town and you're working in another town, so that means you have to leave your house very early in the morning. Maybe you have kids, you leave very early in the morning, they're still sleeping. By the time you get back, they've already gone to sleep. You don't even see your family. So with working from home, you get time with family, and then there's less distraction. When you go to the office, you'll realize that probably, especially on Mondays, when you get to the office on Monday, around 8 to 11, people are just talking about their weekends, talking about Monday, how Monday is boring, talking about how they want the day to end already. Before you know it, it's lunchtime. You have not worked at all. But with working from home, there's less distraction. I'll just wake up and get to my station and work. And there's also high morale. You understand that you have there are expectations that you're supposed to meet, and you working from home, you're more or less just trying to prove that, what, I can still be productive. So there's that high morale. Okay. And then that is for employees. Now we look at for businesses. What are the benefits that remote working has for businesses? How have businesses benefited from their employees working remotely? First, there are reduced overhead costs. If in an office there were 100 people and I decided, what, all these people, you're all going to work from home. There's reduced overhead cost. There's reduced cost of electricity, reduced cost of water, reduced cost of the internet. All right. So you get reduced overhead costs. If you are providing lunch to your employees, that cost has been cut. If you're providing the 10 o'clock tea and cookies, that cost has been reduced. So there's reduced overhead cost. And then there's greater productivity. There's improved productivity. So this basically takes you back to high morale. When people have a high morale to work and they're less distracted, it means that their productivity will improve. And then access to a wider pool of talent. For example, look at Impactor. I have Lauren. Lauren is in Cameroon. I have Amarachi and Judith. They're in Benin. All right. I have Udeme. Udeme is in Nigeria. I am in Kenya. So you understand, you're getting a wider pool of talent from people who are not even in the same area, but these people come together to achieve this same goal for the organization. All right. So there's access to a wider pool of talent and improved employee retention. Basically, that those are the benefits that businesses get from having their employees work remotely. So I'll stop here for questions. I'll only take a minute to take your questions, but I am sure my moderators have done a good job with responding to your questions. What about if you miss some day session? Will you be given a certificate? So Simi, I'm really sorry. If you missed any session, you can't get a certificate for that. Certificates are given to attendees. So if today, like today you're here right now, my moderators will post the attendance link. Make sure you fill it before the session ends. That's the only way you can get a certificate. If you missed a session, I'm sorry, you are not able to get a certificate. What is today's topic? Staying productive online. So you get to learn about staying productive online. All right. Do we have any questions? Any questions? Thanks for the teaching, Beryl. Thank you, Omaka. Is remote working same as hybrid? No. So wait, I'll just say Nikoro. I think I can pronounce Nikoro much better. So hybrid working is a mix of having people remote working and having them go to the office. So you can decide, you know what, I need to get a hybrid worker for a certain role. So I can have them work remotely for 3 days. And then these 2 days, if it's Monday and Wednesday, these 2 days they can come to the office. Emilia, beautiful voice, Mariel. Thank you so much. Wow. As a digital marketer, was it hard to get a good remote job? Actually, if you're a digital marketer, you can work from home anyway. You absolutely don't even need to go to the office. All right. Digital marketing gives you an opportunity. It actually gives you a really good opportunity to work online. Well done, Beryl. Thank you. I've gotten only one certificate. You will still get the rest if you fill the attendance form. The certificates will come. You just have to be patient about it. Please, how can I get my business verified on GMB? This is Bukola Rachel. Please, how can I get my business verified on GMB? You're lucky because because Impact Her is a verification partner with Google. So we'll help you with that. A form will be posted in the chat section. Please, my moderators, make sure you tag Bukola Rachel. Tag her with the form. She can fill the form to assist with the verification. Is the certificate based on all sessions? So certificate is per session. Assuming, for example, this session is the topic is staying productive online. You fill out the form, the attendance form for this session, you're going to get a certificate specifically for this session. Do you understand? When will the attendance for today be shared? You should be asking, what do we have in the next agenda? That is the question you should be asking us, Beatrice. What do we have in store for the next agenda? All right. Rita, how did you get the certificates at all? Some of us haven't gotten any certificates. So if you filled out the attendance form, and of course you input your details, your email, you will get the certificates. Don't fret about it, right? Do employers look for a degree, or is a certificate in digital skills all right? What's your opinion? So Jocelyn, I think this is dependent on what kind of role you're applying for. Some roles are very technical. If you look like maybe, for example, maybe being a nurse or a doctor, those are really technical professions. You will need, obviously, employers will need degrees for that. But some roles are very, they're very flexible, especially for example, let's look at digital marketing. You don't need to have, there are people who have studied digital marketing, right? But the most important thing about digital marketing is how practical, how good are you practically? with running ads. How can you, how can you run ads effectively? Can you show us examples of previous ads that, or previous campaigns that you ran and how successful were they in terms of the numbers? So assuming with digital marketing, it's all about the skills that you have. All right. So it's all dependent. Okay. That's it. I think I will move on. My moderators are already responding to the questions. So I think I will just move on to the next part of this session. The next agenda, which is building a productive work environment. We've looked at setting up a remote office. Now we are building a productive work environment. All right. So why is your work environment important? Why is your work environment important? Because your workspace, the quality of your workspace correlates to your productivity. The quality of your workspace correlates to your productivity. Assuming I'm working in a coffee shop and it's very noisy, I have waiters walking around, maybe it's in the middle of town, there are hoots from buses passing by. How can I be productive in such an environment with so many distractions? You get? So the quality of your workspace correlates your productivity. Get a designated area. We talked about this. Getting a right chair for you. We talked about this because you don't want to hurt your back, things like that. So you need to find the right chair for you and then get a filing system to organize your life. You need to be organized. Get a filing system. If you're an accountant and you're getting so many invoices and you need to send out so many LPOs, get a nice filing system for that. Be organized in your work. All right. So that's why your work environment is important. And if you're going to look at statistics, this is statistics that has been gathered from previous case studies. You can see that a 40% decrease, there's a 40% decrease in productivity due to workplace distractions and 27% increase in errors. So there's a 40% decrease in productivity due to workplace distractions. If I'm working in an environment that has a lot of distractions, then my productivity will go down by 40%. All right. And my error rate will increase by 27%. So this is why you need to have a designated workspace if you're working remotely to ensure that you are productive. Now, how can you minimize distractions? 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 Let me see. How can you minimize distractions? Wow. I'm yet to register my business on GMB. How do I reach out if I hit a snag? You can always reach out to support.google.com/business. So it's a link where you can go to if you're experiencing any issues with your GMB. Support.google.com/business. Don't disturb mode. If you're Titilolami, doing away with the things that are distracting, correct? Emanuela, by getting a good workspace, D&D mode for your phone. Yes, do not disturb mode on your phone. Damilola, staying in a quiet place, self-discipline. Correct. Wow, this is nice. All right, so my second question that I'm going to ask you, and it's up for grabs, and I need whatever response you give me, I need 3 correct answers. I need 3 correct answers. And I asked this before we started the session. I talked about this. So I'm sure you all know the answer. It's very easy. Easy peasy. People say easy peasy. All right. So my first thing, what are the benefits to companies for having their employees work remotely? What benefits do companies get by having their employees working remotely? I'm only giving out my reward to the correct answer. Emanuela, yes, easy peasy. Mercy, reduced overhead costs, greater productivity, access to a wider pool of yeah. have seen. Let me see. I've seen who the winner is, but I'm waiting for my moderators to tell me who we have as the winner, who has won. I have asked, what benefits do companies gain by having their employees work remotely? So who is the winner of this session? Who is the winner? Who is my winner? Who is my winner? Who is my winner? People who typed it on their laptop have already copied and pasted. Right, Casey Bliss. So, who is my winner? Who is my winner? Ah. I know these responses look like people had. Please, could you reshare the link Beryl talked about at the beginning of the session, something Hustle? Yes, so the link to Google Hustle Academy, Tolulope Ibitoye. So you can please post the link to Hustle Academy. They can always sign up as we move along. Casey, who is my winner? Who is my winner? Who is my winner? All right. So maybe I'll just move on. I will come back to announce who the winner is. I am waiting for my moderators to tell me who the winner is. Once they tell me, I will come back to announce that. Meanwhile, let me move on to the next part of this session. We'll continue, right? So steps to minimize distractions. How can you minimize distractions? The first thing, let others know your work hours. And I'll give an example. My friends know I am not available anytime during the week because of course with we said with remote working you're flexible, of course you have your high morale, your self-discipline. Sometimes I can even work up to late into the night, so I know I don't want my friends to look for me anytime during the week. I don't want any form of distractions, but if it's calling me, they can always call me either early in the morning or during lunch hour or past 6 p.m. So because for me working past 6 p.m., that is my choice really. So they know they can call me anytime past 6 p.m. or during lunch hour or early in the morning before I get to work. So make sure you let others know your work hours so that they don't distract you. If you have a best friend who you get on calls with for like 1 hour, 2 hours, you know, just you can't have that during your productive hours. So just ensure you communicate the correct your working hours to your friends to avoid distractions, even at home. There's a video I saw on LinkedIn. There's a lady who was working from home and she had communicated her working hours to her toddler kids. You understand? So one of the kids at one time during the day wanted a snack, but they know, you know what, mommy works from this time to this time. So there's no way they were going to come into her workstation with tantrums. Oh, I want a cookie. So the kid was around 5 years old thereof. Took 5, 6 years. They took a paper and a pen, and they indicated their snacks. Then they handed the paper to the mom. So the mom knew, you know what, my kid wants a snack right now. But they've communicated that. So you can see even the children know how to behave when mom is working. So it's very important to let others know your work hours. Then do one thing at a time. Of course, you want to complete so many things, you want to achieve so many things, but it's important to have a to-do list according to the priority. You need to have a to-do list, So what am I supposed to give? What am I supposed to achieve? Which one has the shortest timeline? So you work in order of priority and importance. And then avoid TV and household distractions. Don't put on a TV while you're working. For example, we had elections here in Kenya, the general elections on Tuesday. The results have not yet been communicated. Of course, I want to know who won the presidential election, but I can't work with my TV on. I'll be distracted. I'll just be glued to my TV waiting for them to announce the winner. I can't do that when I want to be productive. They need to put away all pets. If I have a meeting right now, I don't want a dog coming here and barking. If I have a parrot, have my parrot here repeating what I'm telling you during my training session. You understand? And then take regular breaks. Take regular breaks. There's absolutely no way you can work straight from morning to evening. Even your mind will be tired. And once you get tired, that's where you start making mistakes. Once your mind is tired, you start having errors in your work. So make sure you take breaks. If it's to take a walk, you're going to the balcony of your house for like 10 minutes, get some sun, you understand? Walk around, get some water. So make sure you take regular breaks to give your mind a break so that when you're coming back to sit again, um, you're ready. You've reduced the risk of having errors in your work, right? So, and how can you improve productivity within teams? So now we're looking at you working with team members, right? So assuming, I'll just give an example of me and Udeme and Lauren and Amarachi. We are all in the same team. That means our roles are all intertwined towards achieving first our team goal, and the next step, the organization's goal. All right. So the first thing, besides our individual productivity, is to achieve, or besides our individual goals, rather, we have our team goals that we need to achieve. We have expected goals that we are supposed to achieve as the training team. And then the expected goals that the organization wants to achieve as a whole. And that means that the training team will work with the creative team, will work with the finance team, will work with the tech team. So how can you improve productivity within these teams? There are project management tools that you can use to ensure that you're managing your team correctly in terms of collaboration, in terms of communication. Yesterday, Udeme talked about how to improve communication within teams. We looked at Google Meet, all right? We looked at Google Chat. We looked at Google Currents, right? We looked at emailing. All these things, we looked at them to improve communication. And then we looked at collaboration tools. There's Jamboard, there's Jamboard, there is Google Docs. Do you understand? There is there what? Google Sheets, there are Google Slides. You know, if you want to analyze data, all those, there are different tools that you can use for project management to ensure that working within the teams is as seamless as possible, thereby making it efficient. Do you understand? So the tools indicated on the screen are some of the project management tools that you can use. You can use Mural, you can use Asana, you can use Trello, and you can use Basecamp. So these are just examples of project management tools that you can use within your teams. And there are other tools. If you want to learn about other tools besides this, you can just go online and type out project management tools. All right. So let's look at remote working. How do you need to track the flow of work from start to finish? How do you need, even if I have these tools, even if I have these tools, I have to have a set of guidelines down on how my team needs to work. The first thing you need to establish is vision and deliverables. You need to establish vision and deliverables and communicate the same to the team. They need to understand, just like I mentioned, there is the individual goal and then we have the team goal. My team members need to understand this is where we are headed, this is what we are supposed to achieve. All right. So you need to establish a vision to help get them focused, and then deliverables, individual deliverables. What is expected? I mean, what is expected of Udeme, of Lauren, of Beryl, of Amarachi? Do you understand? There needs to be deliverables. They need to know what is expected and where together all this is heading. And then establish logistics for team communication. If you're paying Wi-Fi to your employees or to your team members, to ensure that they are always online. If you're giving out credit, to ensure that they're able to call clients, to get partners. So you need to establish logistics for team communication, and then promote visibility and transparency of all work. Promote visibility and transparency of all work. This more or less just talks about inclusion. Do you understand? And then track the quality and status of projects. when we were looking at creating a digital marketing strategy, we looked at and we were telling you, you know what, you can get started with digital marketing. These are the components of digital marketing, and then you need to track how your marketing efforts are, if it's paid marketing and all those things. But it's the same thing, even in projects. You need to track the status of projects. We have this project, assuming you are you're dealing in, assuming you're selling iPhones. Yes, we'll work with iPhones. Assuming you're selling iPhones and you're located in Abuja, but you want maybe to get into penetration to another market. Maybe you want to go to which other, give me an example of another city in Ghana, in Nigeria, so that I can mention it. Give me an example of another city in Nigeria so that I can mention it. I've already mentioned Abuja. So any other city in Nigeria? Kano, yes. So if I am based in Abuja and I want to set up shop in Kano or Lagos or Benin City, do you understand? So this is entirely a new project. Do you understand? So there are things that I need to look at. If it's I've done my marketing survey, if I've done my audience survey, if I've done my competitor survey, how far is it? Who did I assign to do what? How far are they with that? So you need to track the quality and status of project. Quality could be in terms of the quality score, and then identify and address bottlenecks. What are the challenges that people are experiencing in terms of why are they not achieving their deliverables? What are the challenges? Why are we as a team not achieving the vision? What is wrong? Then come up with solutions to that. So that's what you need to do with the project management tools. Okay. Then, like I said, it's very important to look at statistics. 70% of workplace mistakes are due to poor communication. 70% of workplace mistakes are due to poor communication. So this takes you back again to yesterday's. This takes you back to yesterday's session. We looked at tools that you can use for communication to improve communication. All right. So if you have your team members having mistakes in their work, all right, you need to sit down and ask yourself, all right, this is what is happening because we are not communicating well. Is it because we don't have tools in place for team communication? Then from there, forge a strategy that will curb that bottleneck and at the end of the day, improve improve the error rate in your organization. Do you get? So looking at communications, what tools, or rather which tools can you use for communication? You can use Google Hangouts. You can use Google Chat. There's Slack. Most people think that, or rather say, WhatsApp is personal. I can't, WhatsApp is very personal. I can't have my team members talk to me on WhatsApp. Well, it's fine if you don't want to use WhatsApp, but you know what? You can decide Slack is the standard communication tool for this organization. So you can ask your team members, and Slack is free. You can ask your team members to download Slack on their phones, download Slack on their browsers, and just sign up. And then you can even create groups on Slack. So you can have your team members communicate on Slack, and it's free. Imagine. So you can try and use such tools. You can use Hangouts, you can use Slack, you can use HubSpot or Gmail for formal communications. In fact, even if, I'll give you an example, if I have a call with a partner right now, I will still have to send out an email to them and quote, hi, so and so and so, as per our conversation, as per our teleconversation, then state out what you talked about. It's very important to have formal communications on email. Then instant messaging platforms, like I said, you can use Google Hangouts or you can use Slack for that. And then collaboration tools for project work. This was also covered in the last session. So what collaboration tools can you use for project work? In fact, that takes me to my third question. And I will only give a reward to the person who gives me 3 correct answers. Because I know they looked at around 4 or 5 collaboration tools. So 3 out of 5 answers, 3 correct out of 5 answers. What tools can you use for collaboration? In fact, that is my third question. What tools can you use for collaboration? What tools can you use for collaboration? For collaboration, what tools can you use for collaboration? What tools can you use for collaboration? I did not announce my second winner. So my second winner is, did I get the winner for my second question? Please, did I get the winner for my second question? Did I get the winner for my second question? No. Come on, my moderators. You were supposed to give me the winner for my second question, and I had asked what benefits employers get from having their employees work online. Okay, that was my question, and I cannot see who my second winner was. Can I have you please tell me who the third winner is? Who is my third winner? Who is my third winner? Because I can't see the winner of my second question. Please, who is my second? Let me see. And I think this person usually comes to my session, Love Chat XYZ. I don't understand why you're posting about the adult site in this session. I said this in the last session. This is a digital skills training session. It's not a dating site. Please stop posting that adult dating site. Stop posting that link in this session, kindly. So the winner from my first session, I think the winner for my first session, the second question, the winner for my second question will be, let me see. No, my second question. So the winner is Mfon Ayo. Mfon Ayo. Mfon Ayo. I hope I'm pronouncing the name correctly. And then my third winner is Mary Okay. Mfon Ayo and Mary Okay. Please make sure that you send your full names, your service provider, and your full name, service provider, and phone number to the email dsexecutive@impacther.org. And while at it, remember we talked about having a 10,000 Naira Jumia voucher for people who have been consistent with attending the session. So if you know you've attended 5 sessions out of the 8 sessions, this is the 8th session. If you've attended 5 out of our 8 sessions, if you have a Fidelity Bank account, and you know truly in your head or in your heart you have been consistent, please also drop an email to dsexecutive@impacther.org with your account name and your account number. All right, so I'll just repeat first. My second winners, that is Mfon Ayo and Mary Okay. Make sure you send your phone number, your service provider, and your full name to that number. And then, yes. And then everyone else who has attended our sessions, 5 out of our 8 sessions, and you have a Fidelity Bank account, send your email to dsexecutive@impacther.org. All right? So we'll continue with our session, setting rules to communicate effectively. In order for communication to be effective, you need to set rules. The first thing, and I've mentioned in the previous slide, you need to tell your team members, this is the official communication tool. If it's email for formal conversations, if it's Slack for instant conversations, if you want instant feedback, you need to set rules. So first, communicate clearly. The next thing, think about the type of message and content and context. If it's formal, please do an email. Don't text me on Slack about a formal maybe a formal conversation that we should be having. Respond promptly. What is your turnaround time for responding to emails or chats? Respond promptly. The other thing, set and role model the guidelines. If I set the guidelines, I need to role model it. I can't tell people, you know what, I need to respond to my emails immediately. While if they send me emails, I'm not responding to them immediately. So you need to set and role model the guidelines. Okay? You need to set and role model the guidelines. If you have a lot of meetings and you want to have presentations, you want to have visual meetings, you can look at these tools on the screen. You can use Google Meet. You can use Zoom. I know most of us are savvy with these tools already. You can use Microsoft Teams. You can use Skype, or you can use WhatsApp video call. But with WhatsApp video call, it's very hard to make presentations on it, but you can have team calls. You can add people on the call. You can have even 5 people in one call. All right. If you want to do presentations or such things, you can look at Meet, you can look at Zoom, Microsoft Teams, or Skype. So it helps with connecting your teams to work remotely. It improves the level of communication and obviously boosts collaboration. So we look at Google Meet, and I've talked about this. So if you need to do a lot of conferencing, presentations, trainings, okay, meetings, you can have this on Google Meet. It's part of the workspace tools. It's part of the workspace tools which Udemy talked about yesterday. And then there's also Zoom. There's a free Zoom. You can use free Zoom that accommodates up to 100 people. And if you want to get a recording on the free Zoom, you get a recording of up to the 40th minute. So if you download the free Zoom and you have a meeting on it, you can get a recording up to the 40th minute because you've not paid for it. So if you want to get longer recordings, have more features on your Zoom, you can decide to subscribe to the payment plan. There are different payment plans. But if you're using the free Zoom and it's a short meeting, you can download free Zoom. Can handle up to 100 people, and you can get recordings up to the 40th minute. And then there's also Microsoft Teams. It's more or less has the same features with Google Meet. So it just depends on your preference, okay? And there's also the Skype. Remember, all these tools, you can also access them on your phone. You can also access them on your phone. You don't need to access them maybe using a laptop or a desktop. You can even access them on your phone. You can go to Play Store or Apple Store and download them. So how do you run effective meetings? If I want to have a meeting with you, Favor Elijah, if I want to have a meeting with you, I need first of all to set an agenda. What am I going to discuss with you on that call? We need to have an agenda, and I need to consider the tone of my voice. Right? If it's an informal meeting, of course I can be fun or jumpy or make jokes, but your tone of voice, your agenda determines your tone of voice. Am I communicating a serious thing? And then you need to encourage the use of cameras, because as much as we are communicating verbally, the non-verbal cues or expressions are very important in communicating messages. I will see the emphasis a person puts on a certain word or a certain topic. It's very important. So you encourage the use of cameras, and you have to be timely. If the meeting starts at 12, I should be in the meeting room by around 11:50. Ready? I'm checking my microphone. I'm checking my video. If I'm the one who's presenting, I'm checking my presenter mode. Is it okay? Do you understand? They also need to be timely. What are the etiquettes? What are the things you should consider when you're running these meetings? One, prepare yourself. Like for this training, I know I have gone through the slides before, but I had to go through the slides again for this training. So prepare yourself, dress appropriately, consider your lighting, especially right now that this is a video, it's a video training. I can't have joined this training in a dark room, and I want you to see me. So consider your lighting, consider your background, all right? If you have your workspace in your bedroom, you don't want people looking at your bed, looking at your wardrobe, looking at your curtains. So consider your background and consider your audio. My audio has to be well enough, loud enough for you to hear me. All right. And the tips for collaborating effectively. So before I go down to the tips for collaborating effectively, let me look at, I gave out a statistic, and this is the last question that I have up. This is the last question that I have up. What percentage of what is my question? What do I want to ask? I know I have it in my head. Yes. What percentage of work distractions, of work mistakes are due to distractions? What percentage of work mistakes are due to distractions? Yes. I remember I gave out this statistic. What percentage of work mistakes are due to distractions? What percentage of work mistakes are due to distractions? Let me see who has the correct answer. Who has the correct answer? The last, that is my last question. What percentage of work mistakes are due to distractions? So while we are waiting for the winner, I'm waiting for my moderators to tell me who the winner is. I'll look at the tips for collaborating effectively. The first, equip your team with the right tools. And then make project management easier. We've looked at the different tools that you can use for project management. Make document sharing easy and accessible. Remember yesterday when Udemy talked about, if I'm working on Google Slides or Google Sheet or Google Forms, I can add my teammates as collaborators in the document. All right. So we are able to work on one document real time. If I have documents that I've stored in my drive and maybe the HR needs to access them, I don't have to keep sending the documents on email. I can give the HR access to that folder in my drive and they can access them anytime they want. So you can make document sharing easy and accessible, encourage collaboration within departments. I've just given an example of probably me as a trainer working with the HR department. So encourage collaboration within departments, because at the end of the day, all these departments brought together is the only way you can achieve your organizational goal. And then prioritize company culture. Prioritize company culture. That is what drives you. That is the engine. That is your engine. Make it your engine. All right. So prioritize company culture. The last thing, especially with working remotely, and I emphasize on this, always over communicate. Always over communicate. It's better than under communicating. It's better than not communicating at all. Always over communicate. The next thing you need to do is to be disciplined. Working from home is not like you're in a vacation or you're in a paid leave. You need to be disciplined. You need to know what's expected of you and achieve that. And then you need to have your tools ready for work always. Your power supply, your laptop, your backup, your phone, your notebook, have your tools ready for work. Find your booster and use it. What gets you energized and ready to work? Personally, I love coffee. I think I have coffee first thing in the morning before I start my work. So use what gets you energy and ready to work when you need it. So I'll pause for questions. Do we have any questions? While I'm waiting for your questions, my last winner is, let me see who my winner is. Let me see who my winner is. Who is my winner? Who is my winner? Who is my winner? All right, so I'll still wait for my winner. But meanwhile, let me see. What questions do I have? What questions do I have? Please, what is the topic for today? Staying productive online. Staying productive online. Mary okay says food for energy. That's funny. I don't have a Fidelity account number. So if you don't have a Fidelity account number, I'm so sorry. I don't think you can get the 10,000 Naira Jumia voucher. The 10,000 Jumia voucher is just for people who have a Fidelity bank account and who have attended at least 5 of our sessions, and we will know because we have been taking attendance. So if you have, if you meet those two requirements, you can send an email out to dsexecutive@impacther.org. Fidelity will choose the winner. It is at the discretion of Fidelity. What is the way forward after today? So good question. So we also offer post what? It's post training support. We also offer post training support. So I know after every session we've talked about go to our social media pages, that is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and go to our social media pages and follow us. So if you follow us, if you have any issue at all, you can always feel free to reach out to us. All right. So feel free to reach out to us. Give me a short minute. Give me a short minute. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. So I think that's it. That's it. We will move on. I will announce my winner of the last question later on when we are almost wrapping up. So managing and maintaining your well-being. Why is it important to manage your well-being? We've talked about, you know, setting your remote office. We've looked at how to make your office very productive for you. But remember, there's no way you can be productive if you're not in the right set of mind. So why is it important to manage your well-being? Why is it important? The first thing, it impacts your overall health. If your work is depressing you, for sure it's going to affect other aspects of your health. So it starts from here. All right. That's why it's important to manage your well being. It impacts your overall health, it leads to greater productivity. If I'm in the right state of mind, I will definitely I will even exceed my expectations. It increases your resilience and it boosts your morale and levels of happiness. Obviously, I will be happy if I'm in the right state of mind. I'm always happy. I'm always with a high morale. I can talk to my teammates well, motivate them. But what can you do to manage your well-being? What do you need to do to manage your well-being? Avoid overworking. Take regular breaks. Remember, we talked about this. I think I mentioned this when I said communicate to people your working hours, and then I said take regular breaks. So set reminders to take breaks. If you are the kind of person who, when you're seated, you forget about every other thing around you, and you're just working straight on, you can decide to set up alarms for breaks. So you can work for 3 hours, take a 10-minute break, another 3 hours, take a 15-minute break, have a maybe 45 to 1 hour lunch break. So set up reminders for breaks. Be clear with your team when you're leaving. So if I go for lunch and I have my teammates emailing me and texting me, and they're wondering why am I not responding. So if I go for lunch, I'll tell them, you know what, I'm not available from 1 to 2. I'm going for lunch. So if you send out an email or a message at this time, I will respond to it at 2 when I get back to my desk. Turn off notifications when on a break because you're clearing your head. Scheduling an activity, you can decide to take a walk, ride a bike, go to the gym at the end of the day. What do you need to do to unwind? Is it taking a walk? I take a walk every evening. Is it riding a bike? Do you go to the gym? Lauren, I know Lauren likes to exercise, so she can decide to go for a short run in the evening. All right. So, what do you need to do to unwind? And then be ready for culture shift. It's very important to be flexible. Trust your overall performance. That's one thing. Trust your overall performance. Rethink the concept of work. You need to make work very enjoyable to you. It doesn't have to be so serious, it doesn't have to be very draining. Rethink the concept of work, understand your commitments, and be patient. Rome was not built in one day, so be patient. All right. So these are just examples on how you can manage your well-being. I've talked about exercising regularly. Be like Lauren. Exercise regularly. The next thing, view mental health as seriously as physical health. Because if your mental health is not okay, we've talked about it affecting your physical health. Check in with your manager or team regularly. If it's weekly, we have weekly meetings at Impactor, and as trainers, we have weekly meetings. We talk about how was your last week? How is this week? What are the challenges that you experienced? All right. So check in with the manager or team regularly. Separate your professional and personal lives. You need to have a work-life balance. And then organize in-person social meetups. Get to learn more about your team members. Decide to have a fun activity with them, a team bonding session. Organize in-person social meetups. So that's it for today. I can see my moderators already dropped the link to learning more. So if you decide to learn more, you can go to learndigital.google.com and learn more about digital marketing. And in fact, if you click on that link and you even decide to get learning today and you finish one topic tomorrow, you get certified. Can you imagine? So click on learndigital.google.com and learn more, and you even get certified. All right. Thank you so much, B. Thank you, Mikoro. So make sure you do all those things. And then remember to follow us on our social media platforms. Because if you follow us, that is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, could be Digital Skills for Africa, and then Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn Impact Her. If you're experiencing any trouble, even after today, feel free to reach out to us through our social media channels. And you can tell us, you know what, I'm one of the participants from the Fidelity Bank training, and I tried setting up my Google My Business, and I'm experiencing this issue. Please help. Do you understand? And then our social media managers, our community managers will take it up from there and help you with that. So always ensure that we are reachable to you or you're reachable to us. Go to our social media handles. All the links will be posted, and follow us. All right? Please consider those who attended all but doesn't have a Fidelity account. You know what, Kelechi? You can actually have a Fidelity Bank account. Just Google Fidelity Bank and see how you can create an account. All right. So my winner, I am to advertise or announce my winner. Divine Favor Obilom is my last winner. Divine Favor Obilom is my last winner. Divine Favor Obilom, please go to dsexecutive@impactor.org, share your phone number, your service provider, and your full name. Divine Favor. How about us staying outside Nigeria? Lilia, I don't understand. It's okay if you're staying outside Nigeria. Okay, I don't understand. How about us staying outside Nigeria? I'm sorry, I don't understand that. Can our moderator kindly share the verification form again? All right. So we are wrapping up the session, but I'll have my moderators drop the verification form, the GMB verification form. If you're having any issue with the GMB verification, please fill it out. All right. I'm online already registering for Fidelity account now. Good job, Bukola Adejoke. You can go to, if you want to get started with Fidelity, go to Fidelity Bank online, see how to create an account and get on it. All right. Fidelity is the main bank. Bank with them today. I'm enjoying banking with them. Thank you. Remember to screenshot the session, go to Twitter, talk to us about your experience. Tag Fidelity Bank, hashtag Digital Skills for Africa, hashtag Fidelity Bank, hashtag Impact Her. All right. How can account number be retrieved? How can account number? Kindly call the Fidelity Bank customer care for that. I'm sure if you give out your full name or your ID, they should be able to give you an account number. Okay, to give you your account number. Or if you have an ATM, it should be at the front of your ATM card, right? Chinenye, I have been banking with them always. All right, that's good. That's it for our session. And I'll remind you, if you want to learn more, learndigital.google.com. Sign up for the Hustle Academy if you have not yet signed up. This is our last session. We have completed the digital skills training session, and I hope you've loved it as much as we have loved it, because for sure, all my moderators, all the traders who have been here have enjoyed. Love chat, XYZ, I can see you. Please stop it. I can see you, love chat, dropping the link to the adult dating site. Please stop it. How can I open an account with them without going to the bank? Any link? Go to Fidelity Bank, type out Fidelity Bank online, and then look at the procedure of Rita. Thank you, Beryl, with the sweet voice. Thank you. Beryl Okoch, no response to my email since yesterday. Adebari Olwatosin. So you won the recharge card. You just have to be patient. That will be shared. You will get your reward. You just have to be patient. The attendance form, we still have more topics. No, Gertrude, this is the last one. This is the last one. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Fidelity Bank. You can tell us you can tell Fidelity Bank in the chat section. Thank you for the training. You've enjoyed it. Just 1 minute for that before we leave. 1 minute for us to tell Fidelity Bank, thank you for the training before we leave. All right. I loved it. Mercy, I loved it. Thank you, Fidelity. Attendance form. Lucky, Nora has just posted the attendance form, so you can fill it out. Thank you, Fidelity Bank, for the training. Faith, thank you, Lauren, Beryl, Nora. You're very good with the names. That's nice. Thank you, Beryl and moderators. Thank you, Fidelity Bank. Thank you so much. We've enjoyed having this session. We will see you if Fidelity Bank decides to have another session. We are actually very glad. We would be happy to have another session, another series of training with you. All right. So I think that's maybe Fidelity can work on that. Thank you all so much. Bye. Bye. Goodbye, everyone. Enjoy your afternoon.